All right, let's test the microphone. Let me know if you can hear me okay. If my audio is fine and the music is okay in comparison. But yeah, here we go. Ready for another tournament and ready for another progress update. And I'm excited about this one to kind of share you what I've been working on. And so we'll get into that in a bit. Will someone please just kindly confirm that the audio is fine and that you can hear me? And then we might just jump straight into things. JP978, let's go! Yeah, I still need to work on those work on a catchphrase of some kind. Everything is great. Cool. Since I ended my farming run for 20 minutes ago or whatever, I just simply did a tier 17 while I'm chatting now at the beginning. We're not taking that too seriously, but it's just so I can get some reroll shards and modules and so forth while chatting for a bit. Put some bass in that voice, man. Yeah, JP has to teach me that. Hey Dowser, hey Mixwell. Yeah, I gotta work on that bass. I am older than 14, even though it might not sound like it. I'm actually 34 years old, so I guess I should have a darker voice. Maybe, eventually, one day. But alright, enough about that. I might let that run just go for a bit while I do a little bit of a progress update of sorts. It won't be as long as last time, but I do want to share a little bit about the rationale of things that are going on. In part because I haven't made and I'm not going to make a progress video by itself for a little while I'm finalizing the Notion site and while I'm doing some other videos and guides. So we'll jump straight into those. And the main thing is that there's a new strategy on the horizon, which I'm super excited about. And why those big changes? Well, it boils down to that I was looking and trying to plan ahead, and everything looked so boring. It's so boring journey ahead in terms of saving up for Golden Tower Plus, which means a lot of stones, and which I can't really then spend on anything else but unlocking my last 2 ultimate weapons. And then also in terms of my labs, that the main labs that will be going for a long time are also super boring. With just like the long attack speed, lab speed, coins per kill, shadow shards, and so forth. And so I've been wanting to do something different, but importantly, something different that is also AFK friendly. And I can't do the type of microing. JT Blaz tomorrow. Oh, nice one. Good on ya. I will be there in 2 months or so, I think, or 2-3 months. But that's amazing. Good on ya. And Martha said, you should do a video and have JP do a voiceover. It's a funny idea. I mean, so the one thing that we're going to do soon, though, and it brings up a relevant point, and maybe even today, I'll talk to JP later, is we are at the very least going to do some kind of co-streaming together. And so then at least you'll get some of that bass voice. Is this live or waiting room? So this is kind of a waiting room for now. I mean, you're live, but we haven't started the tournament just yet. So I'm just doing some quick progress update first. But that being said, though, I have joined my bracket. So I guess I can show you that. It looks like an okay bracket for me. If I can hit 7th, 8th, that would be awesome. But of course, there might be still some lurkers at the very back here, like him. He's gonna beat me. That looks alright. And this one might be tough. So we'll see. We'll see where I end up. But the bracket I joined earlier today. Because what I'm gonna do is I am gonna do at least 2 runs today. Probably just do 1 on the stream and then 1 off stream, just for various testing. But yeah, so going back in terms of the strategy changes, I needed to do something that is AFK friendly. I can't be microing and doing orbless in this, at least in the original way of doing orbless, where I have to constantly monitor my damage and so forth. So what does that all mean? Well, it means that I have done a mastery unlock, and I have unlocked free upgrades mastery, and I am now running a form of black hole digester strategy where I do a free up orbless / free up orb devil, and more details. I'll talk more about it and show more about it also in the future, but that's basically the change in terms of my strategy, where now, and I'll show my build in a second, is I have absolutely 0 stats in damage, and I have free upgrades gradually building up my attack workshop tab completely over the course of a run. So I start off as orbless, and then I do orb devil. I'll show more of that in a second, but what I want to show first is my screen. Marto says you can become the Greenie and Crowbar of mid-game tower and do progress updates together. I mean, yeah, we'll see exactly in what shape and form it turns out, but well, yeah, we totally figure that we are going to do some kind of collab, whether it's talking through tournament streams or whether it's talking in terms of progress updates. I think that could be cool. And I think one of the good things as well is both me and JP, I think we're fairly similar on like spending levels and so forth as well. So it's fairly good comparisons, I think. But all right, let me just flip over to my screen for a second just to illustrate a little bit of the change. Hey Irvin, sup Jay, good luck at the tourney. Thank you very much. I'm not monitoring my current tier 17 run. I'm just going to let it run by itself while I do a little bit of some quick progress update, and then we'll start the tourney. But okay, so let me just jump quickly over here. So what I wanted to show you was, so the oldest in use I have. All right, so this one. So basically just my farm right now with my free up, where I have locked orbs and shockwave size. I have maxed my free upgrades in all of those, and then I have my attack, literally everything at 0. And then through over waves, it gradually levels up. And so there's going to be some monitoring over time in terms of seeing if I want maybe start with 1000 damage, or if I want multi-shot chance and rapid fire from the get-go. So some of that will require a bit of testing. But the main idea is that at the beginning of a run, I'm doing orbless, where I'm just juggling enemies. And then over time, I put in the extra orb card and do orb devil. But I can also just do the orb card from the beginning as well. And yeah, more details will become. More details about this will be shared in the future, but ultimately there were several reasons to why I unlocked the free up mastery. One was, as I mentioned, in terms of just making it more exciting to play, to try different strategies, and I think it's the right direction for me at the moment. The free upgrade mastery is also only 500 stones, and so I kind of regret not doing it earlier. When I was doing various math and considerations, I was like, damn it, I should have done this 2-3 months ago. I feel like one of the reasons is because I can lock my enemy attack level skips in tournament, which will mean that I hopefully now should be able to max my enemy health level skips in tournament. So again, I feel like that's could have been a big one for me for a long time. I've calculated that it probably is only going to give about 20, 30 extra waves, but still, I could have done this a long time ago, so I kind of feel a little bit stupid for not having done it. So that's kind of what I'm looking at in terms of the respec or changes at the moment. There will be some tweaks here and there, like the knockback chance. I might be starting that max or maybe not. I'm trying to still to kind of test what I think is best. Ultimately, though, this whole strategy will get a lot better once I have smart missiles and can do spotlight missile farming at the very beginning of a run. But yeah, enough about that. I did do a progress update like last stream, so I'm not going to go in too much detail. Ooh, sorry. But let me just cover something. Yeah, so overall in terms of workshop is just going to be keep tweaking it and try to optimize this type of free upgrade Orbidevo and Orbless. Milestones, not really any progress. In terms of ultimate weapons, so let's see. Thomas, is the option to lock a stat a vault upgrade or unlocked by tier progress? So neither, Thomas. It's a card mastery. So it's the card mastery for free upgrade card. And it costs 500 stones to unlock. And so that's what I did. I ignored my tier 17 run, so we can just jump back to the home menu for a second. In terms of ultimate weapons, I've maxed the speed, but I still have just a little bit left of the, you can't really see it there, but you chrono field. So for next tournament, I will have finished that lab, which is going to be big, that I'm going to be very happy about to free up a little bit of space. So can't wait for that to happen. And the reason also why doing free up, or one of the reasons why it actually has paid off already, is because today we have ultimate weapon duration condition, so having exactly 1 minute wouldn't have changed or done anything helpful anyways. But I've maxed the, let me show you, sorry. I've maxed the speed reduction, and as you see, I've also gotten the substat for it. I do need to eventually get it ancestral, but I did get the chronophil speed reduction, so pretty happy with that, and I think that's going to have some good impact. But as you can see, I still need to get 2 more levels with stones in chronophil to get up to that 1 minute, and then the long, arduous journey that I'm not looking forward to at all, of just saving up stones to unlock Poison Swamp and Smart Missiles starts. And that's a long one and a boring one, and I'm not super excited about that. And then, as I'm doing free up Orbless and Orbidevo, and just overall, it would be nice to get a little bit more Spotlight angle and Spotlight bonus, but I think I have to try to be frugal with my stones so that I can get Golden Tower Plus sooner. So I'll try not to do it, but who knows if I give in at some point and just feel like it's too boring to only save up stones. So we'll see if I get there. So then in terms of card slots, I still have the same as before. I've gotten the recovery package chance to level 3. I am getting it to level 4 and then I'll stop. The reason why I'm getting it to 4 is there's not necessarily any super great reason for it beyond the fact that getting it to level 4, you basically earn double the amount of shards each day compared to not having the card at all. And so it's like a nice stopping point in that regard, and also a nice stopping point in terms of the price cost increasing. And for the free upgrade, I do have it at level 1, so I can lock 2 stats. I might get it to level 2 at some point, so I can lock 3 stats, but locking 2 stats is kind of enough at the moment to lock the orbs and shockwave size. But with more testing and whatnot, I might see if there's a need or desire to lock anything else. And then, as I've already touched upon, the key thing is really for a tournament, I want to ban the health level skips. Sorry, the attack level skips, that's a typo. And then for farming, to ban orbs and shockwave size. I'm actually curious if anyone has any thoughts on whether I should actually lock anything else for tournament. I can't really think of anything that I would want to lock beyond the enemy attack level skips. But if you have any comments or thoughts on that, then do let me know. And by the way, if you have any questions, as I just skimmed through theirs, then by all means, just ask. And I want to touch on this, and I kind of did already, but looking back over overall across my whole journey of playing this game, I feel like I've done a lot that has been very optimized, that has been with sound strategies and with everything in mind. But looking back and trying to reflect a little bit, well, I'm certainly not infallible and probably made a lot more mistakes than these two, but I do want to kind of highlight what I think are two maybe big mistakes, at least in terms of my way of playing and the things that I can kind of see now that I maybe should have done differently. And one of those being the free upgrade mastery. I feel like with the way that I play the game quite AFK, I feel and the way for a long time I haven't been close to maxing my enemy level skips in tournaments, and so I feel like having had free upgrade mastery could have been beneficial for tournaments quite easily with just 500 stones, and also open up a lot of other opportunities for farming. So I feel like personally that's a little bit of a mistake, and it's of course further highlighted by that some of the strategies that I was planning to do I can't really do anymore, or I can't really do to the effect and the extent that I want because I'm still missing the Galaxy compressor to get it ancestral. And then the second mistake is an older one, but how I overestimated spotlight missiles and maxed that long time ago without having smart missiles, and it basically hasn't really done much at all. It's going to be great once I get smart missiles, and it's going to be part of my farming then, but if someone is looking back at my old videos, hopefully or maybe I should make some comments about how spotlight missiles is not really anything of great value unless you have smart missiles. So yeah, two of probably many mistakes, but I did want to just highlight those. And then in terms of perks, overall, I'm not banning free upgrades anymore, obviously, since I'm running Backhaul Digester. And I am still enabling knockback trade-off simply so that the Orbless can easily transition into an Orb Devo at later wave counts. And then this was just what I had stated, what I was going to focus on in terms of labs. There was duration, shadow shards, econ, lab speed, rerolls. And obviously it's only been a week between the last update, so not that much has changed. As you could tell earlier in the video, I'm just 1 day away from maxing the chronofield duration. I've gotten attack speed up 1 level, crit factor up 1 level. I've got my scatter amp up 1 level, and I'm probably going to get up 1 or 2 more levels. Now with my change of strategy, I am moving up to at least tier 11, and it will also, with the orbless strategies and whatnot, I simply want to kill scatters quicker, or they matter now because they're not going to be as much into my wall as before. So that's why I want the scatter amp up. Farming related, just coins per kill, just gotten that 1 level so far. Shadow Shards is now finally halfway to level 3. And as mentioned, the recovery package chance I've gotten up to level 3 and get it to 4. And then reroll shards is what I've been really working on in terms of the lab. And you could say in hindsight that I should have had this higher earlier, and maybe I should have had better prepared to get to level 141. Because I'm in desperate need of a lot more reroll shards now to get the 5th substats. So that's kind of where I'm at the moment in terms of like the focus. So reroll shards might stay there until I max it. We'll see. And then yeah, free upgrades, gotten that to level 1. Lab speed just 1 level. Then I am, maybe someone saw, but I am simply preparing golden bots. I'm gonna stop it now after this tournament. But I'm preparing it because I am going to drop down 1 sync level by getting the Death Wave cooldown substat on my on my Multiverse Nexus eventually. So that's why I just have this golden bot ready, so I can do that swap with sync perfectly when it happens. And then yeah, it's more or less going to just be the same in terms of labs going forward. The one thing that kind of changed a little bit is I want amp bot duration a little bit, because I want more consistency for my amp bot in tournaments. With just 20 seconds, it is a bit hit and miss in terms of timing it for the bosses, and so I need a little bit more duration to make that consistent enough. And in terms of tournaments, and I can pop that up just quickly on my screen as well. Last tournament, I kind of messed up and fell asleep, and it was just a complete mess. So it wasn't that great. I'm not sure I could have gotten much higher anyways. But wave 443, I think it's going to go better today. And ultimately, I'm doing a lot of different forms of testing at the moment, both with Pulsar, Harvester, and others. The key thing is really that I struggle with single target damage. Sure, I've gotten my chain lightning up a fair bit over time, but it's not really the single target damage type of ultimate weapon. And the two ones that I don't have at the moment, Smart Missiles and Poison Swamp, are really the single target damage type of ultimate weapon. So I'm not expecting any massive progress ahead, but hopefully at least to try to get into top 10 would be nice to do that more consistently. And I did have a few softer and weaker brackets where I was able to do that. And it was also interesting just to note how, for example, last live stream, I did an off-stream run just after it, and I got more than 100 plus waves compared to that. So that was pretty cool. The 468, I think I died at 370 or something on the live stream. So there's always value in testing and trying different things. And in terms of Golden Bot and Amplify Bot, I've already covered that, so not really. I can show you the Golden Bot just quickly. So let's just pull that up. So as you can see, the Amplify Bot, the fact that it has 20 seconds makes it hard to time it on a boss when a wave is about 30 seconds and the boss can spawn at kind of random times during a wave. It makes it... I'm not too worried about cooldown because I can micro it, the Amplify Bot, to make it appear at the boss wave itself. But the issue is the duration, and I don't know how much medals I want to put into it. I also don't know how much more I want to do in range, but I'm close to maxing it, so I might just work on that. But the next one is going to be to get the Golden Bot cooldown one further down, because my next sync is going to be 65 seconds. So that's why I'm saving up medals for that at the moment. And what else do we got? The guild event, there's not really much to say. I mean, I think you're all in the same position at the moment where we all have everything. And yeah, for me though, the key thing is really that I'm also just waiting to see what the next chip is going to be. Hopefully it's something good, because I've saved up all my bits. So hopefully I get rewarded for my patience there, since the Guardians haven't really been strong anyways. So we'll see about that. And in terms of modules, the key thing was really on the live stream last time, where I wasn't sure if I was going to save modules or not, and the JP and 7 convinced me to pull, and I did get a Dimension Core, so that was awesome. I do need 3 more though, so there's still more work to be done. And the modules have gotten up like 2-3 levels since then. And I'm not really worried about not having Galaxy Compressor anymore. Yeah, the new chip is called Fetch, and it makes it sound like maybe it's some CC related, in that it maybe it fetches one and immobilizes it for a bit, maybe. I guess we'll see for sure. And I guess we'll also see whether, if that's the thing, whether it only does it for normal enemies or if it can do it against bosses as well. It'll be interesting to see. So hopefully it's something good. And if you used up all your bits, it's not going to be that big of a difference anyways. We've only had one event, and so whether you've already spent it, it's not really an issue. And I'm sure there will be some respec at some point, but hopefully that's not hidden high up in the vault tree. Although that's probably most likely where it's gonna end up. And yeah, I'm not too worried about Galaxy Compressor not having it anymore, because all my strategies are stop relying on it. Now that my Chrono Field is soon reaching 1 minute when at least there's no ultimate weapon duration battle conditions, then the impact of Galaxy Compressor is so much less than what it could have been in the past, because you stop relying on Black Hole altogether, or quite largely, and so not too fussed about not having the Galaxy Compressor at Ancestral at this point. It's still this beautiful little one. And then overall, in terms of rerolls, so I touched upon it already, that I'm super happy that I got the chronophil speed reduction. Of course, I would have loved to have it at Ancestral, but we'll get there maybe in 6 months if I follow the pace of the Galaxy Compressor itself. Beyond that, I need to change. I'm gonna use AD. Beyond that, I got my AD crit chance from common to legendary, so that's a slight improvement. But then what I was super happy about was just ahead of the live stream, I was pulling just 2-3 times in ACP, and I got the shockwave size. It's actually not the one I wanted though. My plan and what I really want here is either orbs or knockback. But for sure, I'll take it. It's better than nothing, and I'm not going to roll for something else until I've basically fixed everything, all the mods that there are lots of work needed to be done on. And that is really it, I think. Overall, it is a bit of a tough spot not having project funding, not having a DC, Ancestral, and so forth, but we'll see what happens. And there are some rumors about this upcoming Canon module that it might deal with mass in some way, and who knows? We'll see what kind of impact and relevance that will have. But it's not the spot where I feel like I need most work, though. So we'll see. I would have loved to have project funding, I guess is what I'm getting at. In terms of tiers, so I'm farming tier 11, about wave 8,700. So like the runtime is shortened, which also means that the overall coin income per run has dropped, but ultimately it's higher than before. And actually right now my farming is more or less the same as it was with Singularity Harness, doing it with the Black Hole Digester, but it is going to increase quite a bit in the future once I optimize it. Thomas says, project funding is coming to the standard module banner. Yeah, but knowing my luck, and Thomas, you might not know this, but it's not like I need 1 or 2 project funding. I need 7. So getting 7 project funding from the standard banner is gonna be a bit of a journey. I'm not expecting to get that anytime soon. But hopefully one day. And then in terms of my lifetime coin and LTS and all that, so I'm on 17.1 at the moment. And then in terms of, 31k for the stones. And then for tier 11, we're currently looking at around 160. Oh wait, you can't see that. Hang on, there we go. And what else do we got? I think that's it. We should probably get into... I'll talk more about, and I'm happy to answer questions about my farming strategies and using free up to do orbless and orb dev. I'm happy to talk more about that for anyone who has questions. I'll get into the tournament now. But one of the key things is really once I unlock smart missiles, which will be my first, then I can do spotlight missile farming at the beginning of a run, and then move into Orb Devil maybe directly from that, or a little bit of Orbless and then Orb Devil. Part of that will just be more and more testing going on. Cool. All right, I've talked enough, and since I was a little bit short of time, I haven't really done the respec, but let me try to do that quickly on stream. Me and JP, we've talked about that a fair bit, of the danger of doing it on a stream. that we might forget something or mess up. Like now it is on max, and so stuff like that. I'm terrified of making those mistakes. Strix says, "Let's go." Strix, did you do your tourney yet? Or any one of you, have you already done your tourney? And what wave count did you get at? Oh, Professor Husky says 3.7k waves in tourney is scary. Yeah, that is wild. That is wild. It's going to be a while until we get there. All right, so normally I save you guys from having to watch this because it's not necessarily the most interesting thing to watch. And I'll try not to mess it up. Hopefully I won't. Strick says, I'm waiting for six-ish more hours to do the run. All right, is there any specific reason? It just fits your schedule the best, or is that the last minute? No, it's not. And Dowser says 355 in champs going straight back to plat. Oh yeah, I mean champ has gotten really tough recently. I mean I've seen the wave counts now that is required to get to legend is just sick, and so I don't envy you guys. Don't really need anything here. I don't know why I like to put a little bit when it's literally billions. Anyways, it doesn't really cost anything. But I could technically just skip all of that. And maybe I do just to do this quicker for you guys. So you can use PC on emulator instead of my phone. Oh yeah, no, that makes sense. Ecliptic says, it teaches the valuable lesson of how quick 150 gems can be wasted. Oh, yeah. Use PC on emulator instead of emulator on PC. No, for sure, Ecliptic. There's, I mean, we do waste a lot of gems, those of us who are trying to kind of min-max our tournaments. We certainly do waste a fair bit. Again, I don't really need any of this. And Ecliptic, do you respec or do you just run your default build for tournaments? I guess the same question for you, Strix, as well. All right, we'll say that that's fine. Haven't messed up so far. The key thing that I want to test this time, though, which I've kind of mentioned, is I do want to try to lock my enemy attack level skips. And so I guess that means I need to make space for free upgrades. So here you can see it. My little new toy. Just take that out for now. And if I go back now I should have the ability to lock it. I guess I have to remove my other locks. Again, it's kind of new to me, but yeah. And I'm curious about, oh, Ecliptic says, oh, I meant one misclick for respec and it can be screwed up. No, yeah, totally. No, 100%. That's also what I meant. But also just overall usage of gems. Respecing for me makes sometimes get too higher placement. Key is the way. Key is the way. Praised be. But I am curious if any one of you have thoughts or input on if you think there's any stat that I should be locking beyond enemy attack level skips. I might still... It's so cheap. Okay, but I'm not going to do more than that then. But would you lock anything else? Yeah, Ecliptic. So sorry, I was saying that at the beginning of the video. How I changed my strategy and approach, where I've gotten free ups, and I'm doing a free up orbless / free up orb devo at the moment. But it was also so that I could lock my enemy attack level skips in tournament, which I kind of wish I did earlier, because eventually, over time, I would have been able to max my enemy level skips anyways as I get further and further in tournament. But the last 2 months or so, or 2 to 3 months, the free up could have helped a lot. Luck upgrades. So what do you mean in terms of luck upgrades? I'm not following Mix well in terms of what do you think I should be locking. Hey Ryan, good luck with the tourney. Yeah, you too, buddy. I'm sure you're gonna crush it as always. Ecliptic says, for my tournament runs, I block attack level skips when health ELS is max. Pull the free up card and that will get upgraded. Yeah. So I get what you're saying. So, but I have 2 free up locks, and so I'm curious if you lock anything else. And Ryan, I know you have the card too. Do you lock anything else? Sorry. And then let's just get into these. And I know my standard here is roughly, I'm gonna double check my stats. Starting at something like this first, and then we'll optimize it thereafter. Then Mixwell says, might help with module drops. LOL, I'm not being serious. Bilobo, what's your opinion on Galaxy Compressor versus Black Hole Digester? I got my first ones of each at Epic. Which one do you think I should run? So obviously there are different considerations when you're earlier in the game compared to where I'm at. And for example, the only reason why I'm now using Black Hole Digester is because I have the free up lock. And so that makes a huge difference. At your stage though, and both are at Epic, it depends on whether you have some kind of sync with your bot, and whether, because using the Galaxy Compressor you risk breaking it. And so, but if you do it, so if you have a natural sync of some kind below, probably not using Galaxy Compressor, but instead using kind of anything else, and BHD can be a nice one. Can also enable you to do minimum range blender, for example. I don't know what strategy you're running though. But if you're using some kind of orb devo approach, then neither are ideal. But again, you can make everything work. And at your stage with just epics, they don't necessarily, any of them have that huge impact anyway, so you can just use whatever you have the best substats on. Ecliptic says, the attack one will start to upgrade after that. I don't lock anything else. Yeah, so all of you are doing that. So Strix, it's a good question about which mastery next. And I mean, it's only been, what, a week ago since I said that I'm basically not going to do any masteries or more masteries before getting to Golden Tower Plus, and now I've done it. I certainly have more of them on my radar, whether it's Wave Accelerator, whether it's Intro Sprint, although Intro Sprint got a little bit nerfed with the update, because one of the benefits with Intro Sprint was that you could still have the demon mode automation running with it, so you can kind of get saved. You could do Intro Sprint, and when the automatic save of demon mode triggered, you would still keep running Intro Sprint and so forth. So we'll see. There are a few on the radar, but I like to think that I'm going to be able to just hold on to my stones now, because I really want smart missiles. Because not really because smart missiles is going to have an impact by itself, but it's going to make spotlight missiles be a key part of my farming. So I'm definitely sure I'm not going to use any stones or masteries, at least until I've unlocked smart missiles. Cody Light says, the amount of screenshots I'm making as a reference is diabolical at this point. I got a lot of growing and re-rolling to do. Cody, I mean, you can always rewatch the video, right? So, and also feel free to reach out, whether it's on Discord or via YouTube comments or anything, Cody. I'm happy to answer questions. Billabo, I'm super early game, 5-star cards, 9 slots, and no sync aside from 1/4 sync. All right, so Billabo, if you're running Blender free up, then I would run PhD for you. Ryan Fisher, if you could single out one big power spike which helped you in tournaments, what would it have been and why? It's a great question, Ryan. And the biggest one for me was getting inner landmines. That really helped to... I'm super glad that I got that before Chronofield, because I was just rushing through inner landmines on my way to Chronofield. And it had big impact for fairly little stones, being able to stun the bosses, being able to have a little bit of a shield with 6 quantity landmines was really, really helpful. Not just for the bosses themselves, but also for some chip damage that just get caught by the inner landmines. And so for Legend tournaments, that has been the biggest one for me. Now my Chronofield is finally finished, and so Chronofield is gonna have, hopefully, some solid impact going forward. But yeah, in terms of my progress, that's I think the biggest one. For a lot of others who have gotten a better project funding module, that one has been of huge help to many. But yeah, I think that's what immediately comes to mind, Ryan. And of course, for others, there are also like Demon Mode card or Damage card or other things that have progressed and helped them as well. But for me, everything else has been fairly incremental, including also the Amplify bot. Dowser says, will they add more cards eventually? Good question. Yeah, I mean, you never know. I think probably not, at least not immediately, because it increases the complexity, because there's masteries that they also would then have to figure out and create and so forth. So if anything, there probably would just be one level on top of masteries or on top of existing modules or something like that. I don't think they're going to introduce new cards. But what do I know? Ecliptic made it to wave 720 without my demon mode triggering, so I haven't seen the change in effect for inter-sprint mastery. Yeah. X-Dollar. X to your dollar. Yeah. I have not spent anything on Xella or others this month. Well, I did get the event package, so that's a lie. I feel like people swear by Chronofield compared to ILM. I need 3 more ultimate weapons, Chronofield, ILM, and smart missiles. I love inner landmines, and I'm super glad that I got it. It has been really, since I don't have that much damage, any crowd control that I can do at all helps a lot in terms of killing the bosses, and so it's been of huge impact to me. But also because I was struggling with chip damage in the past, and it also helped with that. So I'm super happy that I got that. Otherwise, I wouldn't have inner landmines until maybe next week or 2 after finishing Chronofield, and that would have been very difficult because there's so much stones going into Chronofield. Good luck in Tourney. Oh yeah, so I need to remember to just upgrade. Only reason why we're doing some upgrades in here is just to reach the orbs. I don't need to do that one. You just want a little bit bigger orb size. We'll see if I want to increase it. What do I normally have on my free upgrades? I think it's 18. I'm just cheating and checking my my Respec cheat. And then I have this at about 15 or so. And then let's go back and squeeze out the last. I should check my workshop just to make sure I haven't messed up anything. I could upgrade it, but it's also going to be cheap in Tourney, so I'm not too concerned about that. I could do some cheap levels. Health, I'm not really bothered. Damage, we'll do one more. These are fine. We've done 400. We just done 200 and locked it. I could do one more, maybe since it's cheap, and then locked it. And then we'll put the rest in attack. Oh, I kind of did that not necessarily exactly how I wanted it, but more or less. I wanted normally have a little bit higher crit factor compared to it. And I'm just kind of following the effective paths essentially in terms of how I'm placing these. Crowd control is huge. I have turned Poison Swamp into my crowd control. Yeah. And I mean, that was why I was leaning towards Poison Swamp for a while, ahead of Smart Missiles. But now that I really want Smart Missiles for my farming and utilizing Spotlight Missiles, I think I'm going Smart Missiles first. But basically, they're going to come straight after each other, though. Is there anything else we can just want to squeeze some coins into? There's probably something I'm forgetting. Normally, again, I do these things before I'm on live stream so that I don't mess up. But this is also a good reminder for, I'm just going to jump over here for a second. It's a good reminder about this. You can see my gameplay in that tiny place there, but basically we've changed mods. Then let's make sure to change cards. We've done that. We're going to change tower range. I have labbed range for a bit, and I want to try it at maximum for this first run. I'm not sold on that being better than 18, honestly, because 18 is a really good spot for where orbs are hitting, but we are going to try that. Oh, did claim not work? Strix, as I wrote that. Stuns are so valuable for slowing up bosses and fast. Yeah, no, you're right. And eventually I'm going to get my inner landmine radius max as well. It is at 15. The radius gets wild eventually. It's really big. All right, so we changed those orb placements. There's not much for us to do there since we don't have the workshop one. We have respect, target priority we'll do in a bit. We have locked ELS. And all these remaining ones on the checklist are for endgame players. We don't really have to do any of these. But if you have questions about any of them, feel free to ask. But none of those. Well, I need to remember to turn off the. I guess we'll do it like this just to know. I remember to turn on ultimate weapons. And then with that, I think we should be set to go. The one thing I'll say about this, and let me jump back to the gameplay here, is because there's ultimate weapon duration battle conditions this time around, I am not doing Galaxy Compressor. You could argue the other way around, where this is why you would want to use Galaxy Compressor, because you want to ensure 100% uptime. But with my Mythic one, if it doesn't trigger, I anyways wouldn't have uptime, so it's not consistent 100%. And so that's my rationale for just running with Pulsar Harvester for this first attempt at least. But again, you could argue the completely other way around of being like, hey, this is a tourney where you actually do need Galaxy Compressor. So I might try that for a second attempt. But for now, we'll go with how it is. Ecliptic says, I feel like I'm late game and yet so far away from end game. Yeah. I don't know what we're going to call it. Maybe it's just we can call it mid game still. Maybe. It certainly is a bit of a weird one. Okay, I think we got everything sorted. I need to swap this for something else now before I max it because I'm not ready for it yet. All right, I think we're good to go. This probably, since I'm doing this on live stream, probably something I'm forgetting. Let's aim. So it would be nice to PB and get currently 7th. That would be amazing. I've probably forgotten something, but all right, let's go. And then let's just check that our ultimate weapons are on. And then we are going to change our priority. I still am a little bit afraid of range, so we'll do it like this first. I might change to closest later on, but I think... And then the last thing we just want to check is that do we have cash on and do we have free upgrades on? And then I think we are good to go and just got to keep clicking this one. Good bracket. Yeah, it looks all right so far. We'll see if I'm happy later on. I mean, if I don't fail it. At least these are battle conditions that I'm okay at. The issue for me is when it becomes the boss ultimate. Because I don't have enough single target damage. The boss ultimate is a really hard one. And what's the other one? Well, many of them. Mixwell, yeah, I saw your tournament bracket. That was rough. You got wave 412 and rank 22. JP says, let's go. Good luck on your tournament run. Thank you for the explanation of everything you have going on. Cheers, buddy. And happy to talk more about it as well. Yeah, the free up master is a really good. It's a really good quality of life, but also I feel like, as I was saying at the beginning of the stream, for me right now, everything is so risk being so boring if I don't mix it up with something like that. So it's also about just trying to make the gameplay a little bit more interesting for myself. Strick says, suddenly we're numerous players getting a good bracket this time. Yeah, no, that's great. That's awesome. Oh, Gas, good job. Gas just got first place with 891 waves at Platinum and maxed his rare cards. That's amazing, Gas. Congratulations. Be sure to celebrate all those milestones because there's a long journey and there's no end goal or like final thing. So yeah, do celebrate those. Ecliptic made it to 855. Wow. That's sick, Ecliptic. I think you and Summer and Morgan, I think, on our Discord server are the top 3. Well, we got Ryan there too, though. So no, not really. But yeah, you're up there in terms of strength. And Ryan got over Bussy in his bracket. All right, Ryan, come on, you can beat him. Come on, Ryan, we believe in you. Just hit that website, the Xala website, to give you a little bit of a boost, and I'm sure you got him. And Miguel, yeah, good luck to you as well, buddy. And what tournament are you running, Miguel, and have you done your tournament run yet? Not bad for a late game player. I don't know how this guy is compared to Buzzy. Wow. 7,500. It's a suspiciously round number, but I'm sure he's legit. But wow. That's a tough one to beat. Maybe I should look up that ID. Or I don't know if anyone are able to look up I can look up my tournament bracket later. I hope it's a hacker, and then I get one placement higher. Ryan is happy actually, and give him a shout out. I hope he uploads more content. Yeah. No, I agree. And I think I mentioned it on the last live stream that I'm happy that someone at the very, very top are sharing some videos and sharing some insights as well, and not just being secretive. So I love that. Thanks, JP. I kind of hope it's a hacker, and then he just gets removed or something. So the major change for me in terms of this tournament would be that now I have the chronophil substat. It's on a mythic, but it does make a lot of difference going from 75 to 86 in terms of the slow. So I am hopeful that that will have some positive impact. And the way you can kind of think of the chronophil slow is almost like your defense percentage lab as well, where getting those final levels will pay off and give a lot. Just like getting from 90% defense to 98 is like a 5 times damage mitigation. You can kind of think of chronophil slow in the same way as well. Oh, it's TJ. Ah, okay. Damn it, he's legit then. Damn it. Well, I don't mind. There's always going to be someone who beats me anyway, so I don't mind it being someone super strong, honestly. The good thing for me, though, is that it looks quite nice from 7th and below. There are at least 2 stronger than me that haven't done a run yet, though. But getting within the top 10, I'll be happy with. Wow, he's top 5 overall. Yeah, he's super strong. I think he normally wins a lot of them as well. What secret? Tips to success are easy at the end game. Input credit card. Fair enough. That's a good point. And Ryan says you need to crowdfund $250,000 check the funds. That way someone make a dent. No, fair point. And he might have been one of those who were able to buy stones off the grid back in the day as well, maybe. Miguel, not yet. This will be my first time in champs, and I'm working on a few damage labs before starting. Yeah, no, that makes sense. It's smart to finish up some labs just before tournaments. Normally, I do some quick labs when I know there's like just 24 hours until the tournament. Or less. I'll take a quick look and just see if there's anything I can do that might have some positive impact to squeeze in. So yeah, good luck once you do it. And don't get depressed if you get demoted the first time. It's normally the experience for all of us that once we get to a new tournament tier that we do get pushed down the first time around. But okay, so he wasn't a hacker, so that's unfortunate. Rest in peace, good game. yeah, exactly. I do think, though, these tournament conditions, battle conditions, are generally good for most, or like, I think a lot of people will set their personal best today. We'll see if that's the case for me or not. If all of this comes down to my chronofield not having 100% uptime and I'm dying because of some chip damage, we'll do another run with Galaxy Compressor to see if we can be lucky about that. But I do suspect that it's going to be bosses that I'm going to die to, so we shall see. And what I can do, though, while this is running for a bit, again, you'll still be able to see it in small screen. As usual, I haven't read the battle conditions. Yeah, so that's where this site can be helpful for you, Strix. I did make one page that is just very clean with just the battle conditions and the checklist. And so just easy to get a reference for that, and easy to make sure you don't forget to do all the steps you might need to do for your tournament run. And I did toss in some explanations for each of them in terms of why you would want to do it. because again, some of these are more for end game people who have, whether they have bot preset, whether they have Guardian chips. I mean, I don't think this one's so relevant just yet because all Guardian chips are pretty bad, but something for the future at least. But then also, if you're running a super expensive card mastery lab, you can take that out and get the coins back temporarily if you're doing respec anyways. Or for your armor and generator mods, eventually, if you're an end game player, those get super expensive. So you can make those to level 1 because you're not really concerned about the level of your health or coin income in a tournament. So you can free up coins by just downgrading those. And for those that have the damage cap slider, they want to make sure that they adjust that because they don't want to be doing 10% damage or whatever at this in a tournament run. But yeah, the overall part there with the checklist and whatnot, that helps you also check the battle conditions tricks. And I guess while I'm at it though, I can talk a little bit more. There's been a lot of work that hasn't really been seen for a bit, just in terms of like cleanup. The key thing overall is that I'm not trying to replace the wiki in terms of the glossary, but I do want to make sure that there are key relevant pieces of information for more or less everything that can be easily found. But the key thing with all of these though is that they are cross-linked where relevant and easy to access, just to get an overview of whatever it may be, whether it's and the key and the key thing being also the tips and the frequently asked questions for any given thing. So these are all tips related to black hole, since that's the page I opened, or frequently asked questions related to black hole, or relevant guides or relevant resources, and so on for each of those. But the key thing that there's going to be more work on ahead is more on creating relevant guides that are also going to be video guides, but then with relevant written guides as well. So people can consume guides and strategies and tips in whatever format they prefer. The one thing that I think is pretty cool at the moment is beyond this checklist, beyond the battle conditions, having a little bit of a healthy competition of sorts, where we have, among others, Discord leaderboard. I think luckily Ryan hasn't submitted his game ID yet to this, so we don't have to look at his at the moment. But these are all the people in Legend on our Discord server who have given their game ID. And then you can, if you just want to compare, or let's say remove the top ones because I don't want to compare with them, you can just disable them by clicking on them. And so you can take a look at overall progress. The cool thing is also that you can filter by battle conditions, so you can kind of see if like, okay, am I doing all right compared to others across the board? Are there some battle conditions that I'm actually weaker against, and so forth? And then you get this median and overall kind of strength of all of us. So a little bit of, for those who are like a little bit of friendly competition or credit card competition, then having a look at those tournament leaderboards could be of interest to you. Miguel says, getting demoted is to be expected, no problem if it happens. Yeah, no, you're right, 100%. Flashbang says, is it possible to put your site in dark mode? So it should be. TB, if you're, maybe you can confirm this for me. I set it up the settings that it should respect your system settings, meaning if you on your computer or in your browser have dark mode enabled, it should be dark mode for you. So maybe have a look and confirm that, because I did set it up that way. Oh no, Ryan submitted his game ID. I'm gonna pretend I didn't see that message. Sorry, Ryan, I didn't see No, yeah, okay, cool. So I'll add you later, Ryan. I prefer the white format, but do check if it's black or dark mode for you guys who generally use it. David Delaney says rubber banding between leagues is a rite of passage. It totally is. It totally is. It absolutely is. And then the other thing that I wanted to just mention while we're here is we do have the Stompback giveaway for contributors to the website, where JP has very graciously also donated a Stompback. So there's 2 Stompbacks for the giveaway. I don't mind all this text right now. The one thing I kind of want to highlight was it's pretty cool. We got 100 submissions so far from 54 unique individuals. And a lot of these are gradually also making their way to the site itself. The one thing I also want to highlight is if you do feel like you want to contribute, I have made a little bit of a wish list of things that I know there's a lot more that could be submitted about, whether it's more module related tips or tournament tips or card tips or and so forth. And overall just images of anything as well, whether it's like features in the game, anything you can imagine, a rookie struggling to either understand and so forth. And beyond the competition itself, the people who do submit, I do make their contributions onto the main website, and they will also be listed as contributors. And so there's like a summary of contributors here, where there is also a shortcut link to donate to anyone. Was happy to, I don't know if it was Strix who helped me with that or someone else. But basically, say if you click on, let's not pick myself, Corksil, you automatically are logged in and ready to pay for him. Dowser says, my contribution is using it every day. Oh, cheers. That's cool to hear. And again, I'm always eager to hear feedback. The key thing beyond just information and guides and all that as well is just trying to make these various tools that a lot of us are using often, easily embedded and accessible. Whether it's your tracker, whether it's your calculator, whether it's just finding an infographic, because that can be a pain in and of itself at times. Wow, 100, the odds for players to win are very high. Yeah, exactly. If you submit one, you have 1%. It's way better than the Powerball or the lottery or anything like that. Better than my Galaxy Compressor odds. Yeah. Unfortunately, it is. Where and what do I submit? Are you referring to submitting tips now, Ryan, or your game ID again? I'm guessing you're asking about for the website now. So there is this page called Stompback Giveaway. You can kind of find it several places, but you can submit either a tip, a frequently asked question and answer, or submit image, or feedback, or resource, or it's kind of like a catch-all for even if you want to write like a guide of sorts and so forth. But you simply either expand these simple forms where it's just tip and then your name and game ID. You can kind of skip these or don't really need to worry about them too much. It's just I'm going to label them correctly anyways. And that's really it. You just click submit tip. And for each submission is one entry to the giveaway. And there's, I feel like JPlays is on the verge of exploding on Discord about the red Galaxy Compressor. I'm not concerned about the Galaxy Compressor. All right. Wait, does that mean we're making more jokes about me on Discord at the moment? I might be missing out. Yeah, I know it's a running joke. I don't see any bullying going on Discord at the moment, so I guess I'm fine. And then, yeah, sorry, Ryan. So you can literally, whether you want to just submit in those simple forms that are there, or you can there are individual pages for each of them as well. And so far there's been a lot of cool contributions, whether it's people who have helped me simple just like labeling things, right? Like imagine you're a beginner and just be like, this is how a boss looks like or whatever, or tips related to anything, whether it's how to go about efficient farming or module tricks, anything. And again, the what makes it powerful over time is that all these tips and facts, they appear where it's relevant, right? So if someone is reading about black hole, they only see the black hole tips and so forth. But okay, let's just jump back to the tourney. I think I've mentioned enough about this. Is tip. I'm not saying that the game is pay to win, but you can literally equip your wallet. Your wallet has ultimate weapons plus. Fair. You can try to submit something like that, Dowser, as a tip. We'll see if I accept. The Mishai. No, did you really say that? There should be a tip on how to roll Galaxy Compressor. Surely a winner tip. Yeah, I mean, if it's a good tip. But I'll love to hear it. Tell me, Mishai. Tell me how I should do it, because I guess I'm clueless. Cup says, I just came back, but did you say you were going to go for damage with smart missiles? No. With my smart missiles, the key thing is just unlocking it first, because I'm not spending any stones on it because I'm rushing towards Golden Tower plus Cup. But the key thing is once I do get smart missiles, I'm gonna be labbing the amp lab and just maxing that, because I'm doing spotlight missile as part of my farming in the future. Dowser, no, good, I'll find something useful. Yeah, and I mean, there's so many things. If you just reflect on your own journey and all the questions you had early on, or even if you just see questions and answers on Discord, whether it's the official Discord or the JPlay Discord or wherever, I mean, there's so many things that could be added. So there's heaps of things. And one of the things that I had in terms of my wish list of sorts was good resolution screenshots and description of what is occurring for each of the Ultimate Weapons and Ultimate Weapon Plus. I think that would be really valuable for beginners or people who don't have a certain Ultimate Weapons. So there's that and lots of other things that I think could be great. So, oh yeah, the last thing I'll add before I jump to the tournament gameplay is in regards to battle conditions. Right now in the game, there is no proper table and infographic or whatever that is 100% confirmed in terms of the battle conditions and their heats based on like the wave count. And so currently we're crowdsourcing that, meaning, for example, in my run now, I could take a quick look and take note of the various levels and just make sure that they are confirmed. Ultimate weapon duration, 3 seconds. Because if we do this all together, because obviously I can't be in all tournament brackets, and so doing this together means that we can have a resource that can help anyone who's in Plats, in Champ, and in Legends. And the document is linked on Discord. Anyone can edit. The key thing is just we make it a green cell if it's confirmed, and you can just change it if it's inaccurate. Because overall then we'll have something that is 100% confirmed and 100% valuable. Because there was a lot of feedback also, people who wanted to see something like this where they were like, okay, normally I get to wave 400 in Legends. What kind of condition can I expect to see? Cup says, oh, I forgot to fill out the sheet in my run today. No worries. And I know it can potentially be a bit tedious, but hopefully with help from everybody, we can do it. OJ plays, I made a comment on your last stream in regards to Orb Devil versus Orbless. They honestly net me about the same amount of coins per hour. Orb Devil nets me less cells, however, as the runs are shorter. But the micro required for Orb Devil is so much less, so I switched to Orb Devil. Yeah, no, 100%. And that's where I've been this whole time, where I have been saying that I'll go Orbless once I get Galaxy Compressor as Ancestral, because then I'll have a little bit less microing to do. But TB, this is exactly why I have opted for the free upgrade Mastery. Because now I can do free upgrade Orb Devil. Or I can actually, I'm doing like a free upgrade Orbless into Orb Devil. Because I don't have to do any microing at all. And the way I do that is simply that I have the Black Hole Digester in the free up mastery with 2 locks, and then I have my free upgrades maxed, and then my damage are, all my attack tab is 0, but they gradually fill up because of the free upgrades, and that's how I'm kind of doing my gradual damage for the Orbless initial phase, and then I just change to Orb Devil when I can't do if I'm monitoring, or like I can't kill anymore, basically, while juggling. So that's the thought process in terms of like a super AFK friendly approach. I'm still trying to tweak it and see if I maybe want to have multi-shot chance and rapid fire chance maxed from the get-go, and same with knockback. So I'm still trying to see what works best for me. But everything is going to be so much easier once I get Spotlight missiles after getting Smart Missiles, because then the first phase of farming will just be that. Alright, I'll jump to the gameplay. Enough sheets and enough of that. What are you saving gems for? You made me spend, I don't know how much I spent last stream. Was it 5,000, 6,000 gems? Now I am saving for the next module, just to see. Time to search for Galaxy Compressor. I know you're scared to put it as your goal. We will get you. Oh no, I really want some gems for the next module. And as I said, like, I've given up on Galaxy Compressor. I don't need it anymore. It's dead to me. It clearly doesn't exist in my seed. There's something wrong with it. So, no. TB, makes sense. I wanted to try similar, however, I needed to save gems. I just rushed my last level of Shadow Labs for 11k gems. Nice, nice. Nice, TB. I want to do that at some point too. I am not nearly there yet though, in terms of my... I'm only soon finishing level 3. But I have the same thought process for doing the last level of... Gotta lock attack speed, otherwise you'll experience a fall in CPM when TV wall breaks. Well, Ryan, I don't have a TV wall, just to be clear. Like, I guess I can't... Well, I can show you my death wave damage. There is no death wave wall for me. Like, I have 3x death wave damage. There's non-existent. So that's not really a concern for my build. But totally, I can see that from... For others, Ryan, that being an important thing, especially once you do get a bit more free upgrade locks. But this brings me up to, actually, I just gonna jump here super quick again. One key thing that I want to say is, once you're navigating around, clicking Control P makes you be able to search anything on the site. And so that can be super useful to just moving around to whatever. But what I wanted to just show was what TB was saying about rushing his lab. I can just search for it, I guess. So I should resize this one. It's overly big. You can still see it though. But the discount that is applied for gems when you rush something that is long, and so say if you rush something that is really short, like an hour, then that technically in terms of gems per day rate, that would be 180. But say if you do something more in the area of Shadow Shards level 5, you can basically get a 50% discount in terms of your gems spent. And so technically, if you are going to be rushing, it's better to rush one long than to rush a lot of short ones. So it's just something to keep in mind. And rushing the final level of Shadow Shards is about 11k gems, but it does depend on your lab speed. Strick said, I started saving gems a while ago because I felt Banner was lurking in the air. Yeah, I did have 6,000 gems or something like that last live, but 7 and JP graciously donated though to make me pull modules. So I'm not blaming them by any means. They did donate to the stream, so I'm grateful for that. 7 says, I was told by the devs it's in those 3,600 gems. You can trust me. Have I ever been wrong before? I don't want the Galaxy Compressor anymore. The next kind of struggle that I'm going to start to moan about is mostly just going to be Dimension Core. And I need 3 more copies of it. So if you can convince me, 7, that there's 3 Dimension Cores in those 3k gems, then maybe I'll do it. JP says, I'm saving for the update as well, although yesterday Ryan made me reroll 800,000 shards on Dimension Core and still nothing. Oh, man. Ryan, why did you do that? No, I totally get that. And were you rolling for slow reduction as well? I was lucky, and I did get the Chronophil speed reduction. Again, mythic though, so it's not as hard as it is for you, JP, who have the ancestral. I have a lot. I mean, you see the amount of reroll shards that I have. There's a limit in terms of what I'm able to achieve. So I was able to get legendary on this for cheap. I still have lots to do on my Pulsar Harvester. I have lots to do across the board. Here I'm gonna get the Death Wave cooldown, so I'm going down to sync of 65. I was super lucky to get Shockwave's highs here, although I rather want knockback or orbs. And then lots of work needed to be done here. That was also one thing that I was kind of shifting. I was trying to get package chance basically, because after my recovery, package chance mastery, but I still haven't gotten it. So plenty more work to be done. And also for here. Fuds is calling me, hold up. Chronofield duration or cooldown. Oh, JP, yeah, that's interesting. Can you remind me in the chat, JP, like what are your Chronofield stats at the moment in terms of seconds and so forth? The one thing for me is that at some point I'll take out quantity. And maybe I'll get something else Chronofield related to it, maybe. But I am close to 60-60 on the Chronofield at least, though, in terms of duration and so forth. But that wouldn't matter for a tournament like today with the battle conditions of the ultimate weapon. Cup says, I think everyone is going to PB this tourney. Yeah, I think a lot of people are. I am always very cautious of saying that in case I fail. And for this tourney, for me, it's going to be a little bit RNG potentially of Chronofield dropping and whether I get overwhelmed then or not, or whether it's going to be the bosses. So that's also why I might do a second run where I do use Galaxy Compressor. if I feel like I need that uptime a bit more. Tag says, "Oof, that 800k reroll was rough, bro. Man, I gotta watch that. When did that happen? Was that on a live stream? Or was it like where you was sharing on Discord or something, JP? I think I missed that one. But yeah, sorry to hear you spent that much for it. Sven is also hoping to get the 3-dimension cores left. Yeah, it's painful, Sven, and of course extra painful when it's clearly the go-to core module for tournaments. If we had viable other strategies or ways to go about it, I would have felt different about it, but it's extra painful when it's like the go-to. At least for Galaxy Compressor, there are alternatives. Jimbo says, this must be an easy Legends tourney. I just got a PB 350. Of course, I get a brutal bracket though. Jimbo, and what was your previous best then? I'm curious. Like, how much did you PB with? But congratulations, that's awesome. And Zevin has talked to Fuds and he says he's granting me one wish because I've swiped my credit card a lot on this game. I told him I wished you an ancestral team core. He said, don't stress, my GL hook J plays up. And that is one of those issues though with the featured banner, is that say whatever the new module is called, say you pull it, you don't know for sure whether that could have been that dimension core. It is a bit tricky and painful. Ecliptic, I don't know if everyone will PB, but we will be better than the last tournament. Yeah. Martin, I just posted on Discord. I got my last DM yesterday for Ancestral. You got your last DM? Do you mean DC? Wait, am I going crazy? DM. I'm guessing you mean DC, Martin, but or maybe I'm misunderstanding. Jarig, hey bro, hey. Thanks for tuning in. There's not that much going on for the tournament just yet. I'm mostly just paying attention to the stream and the chat, I mean. Mixwell was short 20 waves from PB, but cleared T16 and got to T17 142. Yeah, Mixwell, you're progressing really fast. You're catching up with me on the milestones as well. But sorry about the tough bracket you got though. Cherig, I can only do 70 waves in Legends. Yeah, that is the reality if you're just getting into Legends. It's rough. It's a bit of a reality check. But you'll get there, Jarig. It just takes a bit of time to transition from health build to damage build and to have sufficient crowd control. Wow, redacted. I just started the tower a few hours ago. I love Bloon's tower and this is super fun so far. Just have to stay patient for the meantime. Any tips, anybody? Oh, so you are the perfect candidate, redacted, to check out my site that I've created heavily with the beginners in mind. Do join our Discord as well, because there's a lot of people that are very knowledgeable, that know a lot about the game and that are eager to help people. But also check out the site and see if you find that of any help. I think if you just, I can do it for you, ! Discord, and you'll get the Discord link if my bot is working properly. Cub says upgrade coins, absolute defense, and thorns at the start. Start looking for beginner guides. Yeah, exactly. And the one thing I've created, I'll jump over one more time. But I've created sections, beginner start here. That gives you a little bit of an insight first in terms of communities to connect to and where you can ask questions. But then also about some of the most important bits when you start out. Like the turtle strategy that basically Cup was alluding to. And then guides to earning gems and gem spending, to improving your coin income. And importantly, this is one of those immediate things you want to take a quick look at, is the recommended order to unlock your ultimate weapons. And you'll see more here, and also some external resources and so forth. But overall, this site could be helpful to you, including also considerations of using an emulator if you're playing on your phone, and so forth. So yeah, anyways, check that out and see if you find that to be of any help. Jarig, I think I need a month or two to stay in Legends. Yeah, and one of those things at that stage, Jarig, is also, it can be, how should I put it? It can be very kind of, like, you can feel very eager to establish yourself and get into Legends and stay there, but potentially doing that as well, rushing that in some ways, potentially could harm you in the long run, in terms of maybe your best being okay with dipping and staying in champ, because focus on those foundations, whether it's econ or cooldowns or other things first, so you have the right foundation to then build on more damage and so forth. So there are some potential trade-offs, but it seems like you at least have realistic expectations of needing a month or two to stay in Legend, so you'll get there eventually. We just gotta make more people above us quit the game. That's the main thing. All right, so now I have. So now you guys were saying basically to take out the free up card so I can get it into the enemy. This is the first time I'm maxing my enemy health level skips, and this was because of the luck, obviously. I haven't been near to do that at all in the past, and that's one of the reasons we got the free up mastery. So I guess that means I will just take out the free upgrade card now. There's no other way to... Wait, if I put it back now, it will still be locked then, right? There's no way to remove the lock by still having free upgrades, is there? Cup says, I feel like this is peer pressuring someone to get addicted to the drug called the tower. Everyone wants to help them to get started, but we're also damn addicted ourselves. Yeah, no, totally. Oh, redacted, I should add, the best way to progress fast is to donate to me, of course. That will help you a lot. No, I'm joking, don't do that. Sven says you need to get better crit factor. Yeah, my lab, a lot of my damage labs are lacking compared to other people in Legends. Like my crit factor is only 56, and so there's a lot more to be done there. Even my coins per kill bonus is a lot lower than most. I know what you mean, Cup. It's super addictive. The one thing you gotta be ready for, and I think that's ultimately also one of the key advice redacted, is that it's a long journey, and so I guess be excited, but also be patient and be prepared that it is a long journey. Oh, and Jarek is buying the stone packs every second week, and that helps a lot. I'm not sure if we should tell you about the other place you can buy stone packs too. I think maybe it's enough for you with those. But there is a way for you, Jarek, to buy more stone packs. I guess what I'm getting at. And if you and I guess also for redacted, if you are gonna spend a little bit in this game, redacted, then spend it now at the beginning. That will have so much more impact than doing it later. Like at my stage, who's almost played a year, and for others, buying has very little impact or less impact, and it's just expensive. But if I were you, and if you are going to spend a little bit at least, then think of this as an expensive console game instead, where you just upfront some expenses, and then hopefully you don't spend too much afterwards. But spending a little bit in the beginning will have immense snowballing impact. Yeah, should we tell Jarek about how we can buy more, or should we just let him be and let him stick with 2 stone packs per month or whatever it is? Jarek was in Plat 3 months ago, now reach Legends with stone packs, so yeah, it's the credit card away. Be aware, suddenly you find yourself with 8 Excel sheets open, 2 calculators, and a new dedicated device just for this game. Not even a joke. No, exactly. Get out while you can, Redacted. Get out now, before it's too late. Strick says, I bought my first stone pack this month after 2.5 years into the game. The stone pack felt like no difference. Yeah, exactly. Redacted says, I was planning on buying the first 3 packs. Yeah, if you're gonna play, then definitely get those. Those are the 3 ones. And then potentially, if you want to spend a little bit more, then maybe a stone pack or something. But those are the 3 essential ones. It's kind of funny because this game is so expensive for a lot of its upgrades that those 3 you just mentioned, we're kind of thinking of people who buy only those 3 as free to play. It's kind of surreal. Obviously, it isn't free to play, and those cost a fair bit. But the reality of the game and the progress and everything, it kind of makes us all think that having those is, or not having those is just having like a trial version of the game or like a demo or something, and then getting those 3 packs you mentioned, it lets you actually play the game. It's kind of unfortunate, but that's kind of how it is. Sven says, soon I'll have 99 lab speed. Wow, just 3 days left. That's amazing. People know who follow me for a while that I don't really do lab speed, or not that much of it. Mine is 67. I'll get there eventually. As I mentioned in the beginning of the video, it's gonna have a lab slot for it very soon. Because right now I don't feel like there's a lot of low-hanging fruits anymore of things I can try to be clever with when it comes to labs. And so will be just to put that. Strix, that's what I did. I literally bought a high-end desktop primarily to emulate the tower. Oh man. And there are options as well for like cloud emulators as well if you don't have a device, such as LD Cloud. I tried that for 1 month when I was away and my computer shut down. Mixwell is kind of, I guess, hinting to Jarek about the way to get extra stone packs. Xala, the tower ain't good. Jarek, you can just ask on Discord on how, if you want to find out how to buy extra stone packs. We'll share you the link. Jarek says, I think when you know the lab slot, they can put it in the harmony tree to unlock it. I totally get it in terms of like, I would love a lab slot as well. Part of me is also not wanting it. What I've kind of enjoyed up until now in the game is the fact that there are so many trade-offs and trying to be clever or calculate ways to go about doing my labs in different orders than others and so forth. I feel like now I'm getting to a stage where it's too easy for me to decide what I'm going to lab, I feel like, and that makes the game a little bit more boring for me. And so everyone's different, of course, but I feel like maybe if I had a 6 lab slot, it would be even more boring because I would have even less trade-offs or strategies or ways to go about my lab differently than others. But But yeah, of course, having a sixth one would be nice. But knowing how they introduce things nowadays, though, it would be far high up in Harmony tree and not really achievable for most of us for our ages anyways. So it would just make the top players progress away from us even faster. So JP says, what tier are you farming currently? I'm guessing the question is for me, and I'm currently doing, right now I'm doing tier 11 with the new strategy with Black Hole Digester to about almost 9,000 waves. I haven't tried the strategy yet on tier 10. I haven't tried it on tier 12. And so over the next week, I'm going to try different variations. I've actually so far tried min-range Orb Devil. It sounds a little bit counterintuitive and you don't get full stack hugging and so forth. But there are some benefits, especially when I'm going to push or try tier 12. There are actually some benefits to doing min-range Orb Devil, because with the smaller range, the enemies will hug my tower kind of less, which is kind of counterintuitive. But what's going to happen over time is I'm probably going to swap out my Wormhole Redirector for Space Displacer, and I'm going to try some unique strategies of basically Orbless / Orb Devil, where the inner landmines are kind of stunning them whenever Black Hole is down. It's hard to explain right now, and I'll get more into it once I've tweaked my approach to it and gotten the relevant substats. But yeah. Oh, energy shields dropping. Good catch. Was that from... we'll just do 3x speed for now. So Ryan, right now, I'm getting basically the same as I did with my Singularity harness. But that's because I haven't optimized the strategy yet. I haven't gotten hard into free upgrade enhancements. I haven't gotten all free upgrade substats on the Black Hole Digester yet. And so literally right now I'm like 0 gain, which I think is something for people to consider or take into consideration whenever they do change a strategy, to not necessarily conclude that just because the first try didn't result in an increase doesn't mean it might not be the viable strategy, because you haven't optimized your build for it yet. And so I am going to be optimizing both in terms of reducing cooldowns, which would have helped in any strategy, of course, but also optimizing for... Sorry, I just saw the bus. Optimizing for free upgrades and a lot of other things. Also, it's time for me to get back to duration on my golden bot and so forth too, because I've neglected that in previous strategies. So we'll see. It will be a better update next week once I've tried to tweak everything. Bus took down the wall, didn't see what hit the energy shield. Yeah, I'm already struggling with my single target damage. It is a weakness of mine. Yeah. It can be hard to test. I mean, and of course, one of the challenges with testing overall is just that it takes so long time to do a run, and so it's not easy for us to do any form of like A/B testing of any strategy, because it takes us 12 hours just to try one thing, and then by then the other parameters might have changed, whether it's new labs you've gotten or whatever, or there was RNG involved and so forth. So it's really hard. That's why I don't really conclude on a strategy until I feel like I've tested it sufficiently. So the other thing for me, for example, is another thing that I'm going to be testing is I'm not set on this strategy completely, because with my reduction in Death Wave cooldown, it also means that I can have perma Black Hole and Golden Tower. And so I am going to be trying some perma strategies too. So I'm not set on one way just yet, but the allure and what's what I love about this strategy so far is that this is the type of AFK strategy that I enjoy, because I don't have time to monitor my runs. And so having something where it automatically trickle up the damage and it automatically does all these things for me means that I literally don't have to do anything. Except maybe just go in and put on the extra orbs card. It's interesting with the extra shockwave size. As I mentioned just before the stream, got the... I don't really necessarily want it, but I got it after 3 rolls, and I'm not going to bother to try to swap it for orbs or knockback just yet. But it is interesting to see the shockwave size going so far that it literally touches all the way out to chronofield range. See, this is the problem. Now my chronofield is down. I am still able to juggle it somewhat, but this is where the RNG might play in, and also where potentially running Galaxy Compressor might be better for me in this run. We'll see what ultimately kills me, if it is the struggle of dealing with these, or if it's the struggle with the bosses. The reason why, and Seven was one of the ones who brought this to my attention and got me really thinking about it, is I could make the juggling easier for myself by putting on the Death Ray card. But usually the issue for me is boss damage, in killing the boss and the boss killing me. And so I kind of on purpose right now have a bit to juggle, simply so that I can have more chances of bounce shots and chain lightning hitting the boss. So it's a delicate balance right now, delicate dance of trying to have enough enemies on screen so that the bounces and everything can hit the bosses while not being overwhelmed, especially if chronofield falls down. So a bit of testing back and forth here. Hey Graham, what's up? We are currently at 435 and looking okay so far. I'm not bothering to do wave skips or anything like that just yet. Probably should very soon. And just getting to 500 should take us to where we want to be. And so far, things are looking pretty good. So can't complain there. Cub says, just check my Tourney tab and the rank 2 finish stream is still alive. Hope it sticks. No lurkers inside. Oh man, that's amazing. Fingers crossed. That's lovely. For me, we can pull it up just quickly again. But, oh man, look at how tight this is. I'm currently in 14th, but getting up just 80 more waves will take me to 7th. And hopefully we can get there. So, fingers crossed about that. Eventually now I might start to do some cheesing. It's not going to be the most fun necessarily to watch. But hopefully we can have a fruitful chat while I'm doing slow speed and everything. JP has probably left already because he hates it with slow speed. At least I'm not on 1x at the moment, JP, but well, so you say, Cup, you say I can get 7 for sure, but just to be clear, it would be, I've never been above 500. I think now with my chronofield slow and various progress, and we had some tough tournament battle conditions here, I do think I am in a position that I should be able to get 500, but just to be clear, that would be a personal best. So yeah, we'll kind of monitor it, and if things go poorly this run, then I can always do another run where I can tweak things, whether it's Death Ray card, whether it's other things. Swap out free up card for credit card and you'll get 6. Yeah. No, I mean last month I did get a Xala upgrade, so there's that. And if you ever wonder if I do buy stone packs, you can always just put in my ID on Xala just to see it, and have not gotten any. And I'm planning to not get any. I'm not gonna lie, I was eager to get one potentially to rush my free up strategy and test, but it was just one tournament to wait, so there was no point at all. JP98, wish there was 50 XP in Tourney. It's called Indoor Sprint Mastery. Yeah. Strike says, you remember when I went down to 1 XP at wave 300? Yeah. I mean, I would normally do that too. It does look like it's going to be a solid PB. But we'll see where we end up. The one thing I'm super happy about, it's more of a quality of life, but it also helps definitely for tournament progress, is now I have the the smart mode. And so just not having to micro that, but also having the chance to do Deathify is going to be super, super helpful and nice. Chris Cooper, late join, but glad to catch you. Likewise, glad to have you here, buddy. And thank you for the contributions to the Notion Knowledge Hub, Chris. Really appreciate that. JP, how long do you stream? Is it going to be a last-minute one, JP, or what's the plan? I'm down whenever. If we do it together or whether you're doing it alone. But I'm down to watch it or join it. Yeah, it does look like good progress. I mean, I barely monitor my run because I'm looking more at the chat, but so far it does look... Normally I would have been cheesing things a lot earlier. I think these are battle conditions that suit me a lot more than boss ultimate and stuff like that. Want to stream with Jay Plays tonight whenever he wants. I want to, yeah. Cool. Well, I flip it around. I'm okay anytime, JP, whether that is straight after this or later. So just check your schedule and get back to me. All right, so maybe it's premature. Maybe I'll do it a little bit later, but I'm just going to illustrate one thing that I do to cheese out some extra waves. I would turn off my amplify bot so that I have it ready for the next boss. So, oh wait, I have that wave. I have the wave accelerator on, and then I think I'm gonna fail a little bit now since I have that on, but roughly started from here, and then it should appear for the next boss. Oh, Ryan, how far did you get, Ryan? Or I guess you should answer that by saying you got to find out by watching the video. I guess that's the right way to say it. But check out that video. That's really cool. And I do appreciate your video recently, Ryan, of like the A/B testing, because again, it's one of those issues in this game, right, where we're like, again, there's only so many tournaments run we ourselves can do, and doing various testing is super valuable for everybody because, yeah, there's limited time, and runs take a long time. But of course, everyone also have to keep in mind that your build is different than theirs and so forth. So what ultimately does work for you, of course, doesn't necessarily mean it's the best for them, but still super, super, super valuable, Ryan. I forgot to bother to do wave skip, and I didn't even pay attention if the I just want to do one more time because I didn't even see if I did it correctly. Wait, I can just turn it on again. The key thing with microing bots is that you can only do it, you can only toggle on off 40 times. So that's why I probably shouldn't do it already because I'm not really struggling yet. Wow, Ryan got to 1,849 with Respec. Without it, it was 1723. Wow. Previous with similar conditions was 1720. That's the. I'm curious how you compare that, Ryan. And of course, that's one of those issues because previous conditions were a while ago, and so what it comes down to in terms of that progress itself, I guess, is harder to exactly quantify. But that's amazing. Let's see if I timed the amplify bot correctly now. I mean, that's the thing with the waves. Oh yeah, see there, that's perfect. Amplify bot, caught it immediately. Sweet. And of course and that is the reason why, I'll show it in a second when I just time it again. The issue is, of course, that the amplify bot only lasts for 20 seconds at the moment. But it is the reason why I've been focusing on range to hit that boss. And why I'm not too concerned more with cooldown for a while, because if I do it 1.5 or 3.5 waves in advance, then it will be there. The issue is with duration right now and just more range for consistency, because the boss spawns at random times in that boss wave itself, so I'm not hitting it every time, and the amplify bot is also not big enough to hit it every time. But that's kind of the extra cheesing. I haven't really bothered with the wave skip so far, though. I probably should. But again, we're not struggling that much yet. The issue for me is with Chronofield dropping, and all of these are just insta-killing me, or at least insta-triggering second wind. Ryan got very lucky, 11 death to 5. Nice. Nice. How many are we at? One death to 5 so far. I don't know if I should bother with... I'm not going to bother with microing the amplify bot anymore until we struggle. But maybe we'll do that, maybe, since we're going to try to cheese things. And maybe it's just my way of also extending the run and have you guys with me for longer. Some of you may know this, but the reason why I'm pausing the game in between changing is simply because there are some issues with the game where you risk taking damage if you don't between changing menus. But yeah, I don't think we bother with amplifier bot cheesing until we're out of energy shields or something like that. Or out of second wind, probably. So, Cup, you raise a very good point, and I might do that, especially if I felt that the enemies is an issue. I don't feel like the normal enemies is an issue right now, and I kind of want more enemies simply so I can bounce more things off the boss. But it's a very delicate balance of trying to juggle enough enemies while not getting overwhelmed. And so I could push my orbs out, and then I would kill a lot more normal enemies a lot faster, which should be the play, at least if I do feel like I'm overwhelmed. But right now I'm not, simply because I want a lot of enemies around me. But to your point, yeah, if I was struggling and I wanted to make sure that I was not getting shotgunned, then I would put my orbs out just to thin out the herd, and also put on the death ray card to thin out the herd as well. So it's kind of like I'm playing with fire, you could say, right now, of just having the orbs inside so that Hopefully they hit the bosses a little bit more, but again, this shouldn't matter too much. So probably I should put the orbs out very soon. Maybe. But I want to try without it for as long as I can. I am actually curious how many enemies we do have on screen. It's not that much. I keep forgetting to wave skip, but again, I don't think I need to do that just yet anyways. Chris, have you done yours tournament yet? Cup, I'll probably do it off stream, or maybe I just do it like, maybe I'll do it on Twitch without microphone or something like that, so I can just do other things at the same time. Maybe. No, actually, I might actually do it. We'll see how we exactly do it, but me and JP have been talking about doing a co-stream, and so maybe that's how I go about it for a second run. And that could be the angle or approach to it. But normally, Cup, I would just do one run on live stream and then the other ones upstream, which was kind of a little bit of a shame last week because my tournament run did not go well at all. And then my second run, I improved it with 100 waves. So it's kind of a bit of a shame that people didn't see that side. Ooh. All right, I think it's time to start to skip. Ultimately, all the cheesing from here on out is probably not going to matter much overall, because just beating Karen is probably all I can do anyways, and there is two stronger ones coming, and so we're probably looking at 9th no matter what I do. But we gotta cheese and try to learn and do our best. The only issue with that, Chris, is that JP's awesome voice, and then it's like squeaky little me. I'm terrified of that. No, I'm joking. Yeah, no, I think it would be great, and I think there's lots of things to learn from each other, and I think a co-stream can be beneficial for many reasons. One of the things that I thought I'd set it up for this stream as well, but I guess I hadn't, was that anyone could jump on voice channel on my Discord server and basically join the live stream and via talking as well. I could enable that if anyone else wants to jump on. Ryan, yeah, my inner landmine rotation is maxed. I think it's only because it's sorry. Was that me being overwhelmed by shotgun? I think it was. I couldn't really see it. Maybe someone saw it. The inner landmines and the stun of it probably was clutch there. But that's, again, one of those risks and one of the reasons why I also want to do several attempts, and why there's this argument of when there's ultimate weapon duration, I'm never going to have 100% consistency of chronofield anyways, so is it really worth it for me to bother, even though at least I increase the likelihood of it? Or do I just embrace it and be like, you know what, I'm not going to worry about the 100% uptime anyways, and just focus on what I can do most damage on bosses for. So that's kind of what we're testing today in this first test. It'll be like Batman and Mighty Mickey Mouse. Yoo-hoo! Yeah, something like that. Sorry, Ryan. So my inner landmine rotation is maxed. The probably the reason why it doesn't look like it is because I have so slow gameplay at the moment. Oh, it was a boss, Chris. Okay, thanks. The one thing I don't have maxed yet that I'm going to work on gradually is the inner landmine radius. It's level 15 out of 20. Yeah, no, 100%. I can't chain stun. Normally the boss would be stunned 2 or 3 times maximum, Ryan. And so that's one of those considerations as well for potential substats in the future. Whether I want that. There's also the argument, of course, of using Space Displacer. It can be very helpful for many. Right now I feel like I need the extra damage. So that's why I use ACP. But for many, especially in early Legend tournaments, using Space Displacer can be great to more like chain stun the boss for longer. I had some success with that in the past. My only issue right now with Space Displacer is I haven't decided if I'm going to roll it for farming or if I'm going to roll it for tournaments. I do feel like it probably is going to fall off as I get stronger in Legend tournaments, so I'm leaning towards making it a farming kind of build of sorts on the substats, but I'm not set on either yet. I'm curious about your inner landmine situation, Ryan, in terms of your stuns and how are you chain stunning and so forth. I mean, obviously your situation is also different from having Chronofield Plus and all these other things too. That makes your reality a bit different, but maybe you can elaborate on how you do go about stunning your boss. And your Poison Swamp, of course, too. We gotta skip wave 500, even though it's the first time we get there, so maybe we should... Oh, and I take off the orbs just when the Chronofield is off. Funny. I might push my orbs out now. I probably should. I feel like there's a lot of enemies. He's coming for me! I think Ryan only has 3 mines. Oh, really, Ryan? You only have 3 mines? It's so cheap to just max, though. To 6 is like 400 stones. For me, it was the biggest impact for Legend tournaments. For me, was easily getting inner landmines and just getting the 6 mines, which is 400 stones or so. I haven't touched cooldowns or damage or anything, but the quantity has been massive. But you only have 3 mines, Ryan? You like completely skipped it, essentially? Oh, I saw that. All right, let's at the very least, we need to thin the herds a bit. Let's see if this can help thin a little bit. So Ryan has gotten 5 now. It's not enough to chain stun, but Poison Swamp does slow the boss a little, and with chain plus rotation, it's an additional layer of variance. Yeah, no, totally right. So I imagine for you, it's a little bit different that way. Cup hates that the Chronofield Plus rotates the same way as mines. That is... I haven't really thought of that, to be honest, Cup. Oh, crap. Crap! I didn't do wave skip, I didn't do anything. Are we gonna deathify it? Or is this second wind proc? Yeah, alright, that's fine. At least we're beating the 517, that's the main thing. But let's try to make sure our cheese is a little bit better for these remaining ones. Prima says, oh nice, recall you talking about it in a video or 2 ago, Ryan. Yeah, for me, it's been of massive help, in the landmines. In your situation, considering your strength, Ryan, and glass cannon and so forth, I, I can't speak to the exact benefit of it, but I'm sure it will help some to stun the buses for you too. But yeah, we're nearly at the end. We'll just do super slow mo, more so that I can read chat and remember to do wave skips and so forth. And if I beat Karen and do well, we'll see what kind. Maybe I do some crazier type of build for my second run, just to try something that more unconventional. Bruma says, Inner Landmine was a big boost for me as well. Helps a lot for early legends. Got 430 waves this tourney. Yeah, exactly. I think it helps a lot for early waves. Sven, so at the moment I have had the recovery package chance for, I don't know, I want to say 2-3 weeks now. Basically just to kind of double my shard income. And then this week, just a few days ago, I got free upgrades, in part because I want to do free up strategies with Orbalist and Orb Devil, and get my first tournament where I was able to maximize my enemy health level skips by locking enemy attack level skips at the beginning of the run. What I will do next in terms of masteries is I'm not touching, at least absolutely not touching any masteries until I unlock smart missiles, so I can get my spotlight missiles for farming in a good window. Thereafter, we'll see if I touch any before unlocking the last final ultimate weapon of Poison Swamp. We'll see if I do want to get, whether I do want to get Wave Accelerator or Intro Sprint or others, or Damage or Demon. But the thought process right now is to hold off and not do it. But the funny thing is, I said that last week as well, and then I got free up, so we'll see. I really don't need the cat. Should I run more range? Maybe. I can try to run more range. I'm not sure why I should, or should I left that for a different strategy, but let's boost range even more then. Ryan, for me, Inner Landmine quantity is cheap, but it does need some CD upgrades to work in tourneys. Yeah, I mean, to work consistently at least, right? Like, my Inner Landmines are default cooldown. I haven't touched it at all. And so that means it's not necessarily up all the time for every boss. But if you've paid attention to my run, it's more or less always open because I'm only using 1 or 2. And of course, it depends on the exact cooldown of the Inner Landmines themselves. But I have the default cooldown, the default damage, only the quantity so far. But yeah, for proper consistency, you want to get cooldown further so you can get it up guaranteed for every boss. Screw that. Crap, I did not see what happened there. But I bet that was the... I'll see that in replay, but that's gotta be because of the chronofield dropping. Oh, and the orbs are of course not in the right spot anymore either. They're barely gonna do anything useful out here though, are they? Let's try. We're anyways beating 517, which is the main thing, so... Brian says, I'll get it done though. Maybe after my Poison Swamp gets stronger. Yeah. I mean, for you, I can understand that Poison Swamp is probably a better priority right now. Prima says, if you Intro Sprint in Tourney, but if not, then only need a few clicks in cooldown. Oh, that's a good call. That's a good call. That's a really good call. Sven says, I need more reroll shards, so I should get cash mastery or wait for something else. I don't know what to do. Ooh, that's a tricky one. I would love more reroll shards too. Right now I'm just doing the labs and just maxing that. And I'm thinking, oh crap, did you see all those death defies? I think that was 2 or 3 death defies in a row. Should I? It's not gonna really change anything. Whatever. We're just gonna let it go as it is. But next run I'll do Galaxy Compressor just to see if I can have the chronofield consistently up. Because certainly now crowd control of the normal enemies as well is clearly an issue. I should put the orbs one more in. I saw nothing as well. In fact, I'm legally blind. No worries. I mean, now I'm not sweating anything anyways because, man, I'm death-defying everything here. Simply because I'm beating 517, I'm not too worried about really anything. We can try to cheese a little bit. But we've beaten, we have rank 7 at the moment, so. But yeah, sorry, Sven. So back to reroll shard. So it's a tough one. I don't know your reroll situation, but if I had unlimited stones, or if I could buy stones, buy stone packs, I would get cash. I would get all the ones that are kind of foundations to earn more of anything. I would get the cash. I would get the what's the other one? What's the one for cells again? Enemy balance? No, wait. I feel like I'm mixing up. Anyways, I would get the one for cell, reroll, and I've already gotten the one for shard if I was buying stone packs. But since I'm not, I feel like there's a limited amount of stones that I have on hand, and so I can't justify the rerolls at the moment. But I don't know, Sven, what kind of masteries do you have already? I'm kind of happy about how I'm able to juggle the enemies without chronofield. But I see I did drop my energy shield somewhere. I'm barely paying attention. Not really concerned about the run. Just checking if I feel like there's something I've forgotten to use here. Not really. That doesn't really matter though, but I don't know why I do that. Since we're struggling with, we might try to thin the herd, but I feel like that's gonna hurt me with the bosses though. Oh wait, is it death resistance? Have I forgotten that? Oh, it's death ray resistance. Yeah, then it's fine. Oh, that's the guy I knew was gonna beat me though. I'm not gonna get 626. And then there's one more, definitely is gonna beat me. And then these other two, I think I've got covered. So we're gonna look at 9th, probably. It would have been so nice with 8 though. Hopefully he forgets to play. Remember, cheers Ryan. Remember to like the stream, everyone. Appreciate it. Thanks a lot. Thank you. Cup says, I feel like your shockwave size is doing more harm than good because it means all the enemies enter your tower range at the same time. Maybe test it to have your shockwave size just inside of Orbline. Yeah, And I was kind of sharing how I don't really want this huge shockwave size, and I haven't really had it. I just rolled it before stream. I just did 3 rolls because I had a common defense absolute or something like that, and I just wanted to draw like, okay, I'll take almost anything. I don't want shockwave size here permanently. I rather want orbs or knockback, and so I feel like you do have a point of this shockwave size potentially being harmful for me. I don't disagree with that, Cub. It was certainly not my intention, at least. Oh, Strix, who do you recognize from the bracket? But yeah, we're not gonna get to wave 600. I think that would be. And yeah, Strix kind of confirms that enemy balance is for the cells. Yeah, 100% agree, Cup. My only issue with that right now is, oops, not cards, mods, is look at my amount of reroll shards. And there's so many other things that I also feel like I need to fix. Not necessarily anything here. Cash maybe give me a little bit quicker upgrades and so forth. Here, I would want for the DP as well. I have I need to fix that. I need to fix on so many things. I need to fix it on the Multiverse Nexus. And so getting the shockwave size in 3 rolls, Ancestral, is like, I'll take it. I'm not sure if I want to roll away from it immediately when there's so many other things to reroll for potentially first. So it's a bit of a tricky one, but I agree with you that there are other things that I want on it. So I'll have to get to it eventually. I'm just not sure how I'm going to prioritize it. Where did I move my... Oh, Death Ray. Sorry. I forgot to change my game resolution so that that stupid end round is not on top of the game speed. I was meant to do that. But yeah, surely. I mean, we haven't triggered demon mode yet, so we're still in for a bit. But it's probably not going to be that much longer. And it's the first time over 500, so excited about that in and of itself. Excited to get 9th, most likely, for the tournament. I think we're going to trigger the demon mode now. Yeah. All right. And then, of course, once your demon mode do trigger, you just want to put on wave skips, right? Just to get the most waves you can. Yeah, unlucky spotlight. Yeah, that's another thing, right? Like, I need to work on that angle eventually of spotlight. But it is what it is. Can't work on everything at once, unfortunately. But I'll take it. I'll take the tournament result. And I did expect a little bit of increase. Again, I mentioned this earlier on the stream, of just simply being able to lock the enemy attack level skips in the beginning of the run. Oh, I was expecting 20, 30 waves plus for that. It could have had more impact. It's hard to say, but like plain math was kind of indicating that, and I think the rest is just simply because of easier battle conditions. It's too late to micro the bot, isn't it? Fun to watch. Feels like speed hack is going from 1x to 5 again. No, it totally does. I'm curious about you guys. Do all of you slow down your game? I feel like it's an kind of unfortunate side of the game. I know that JP hates it, and there's probably others as well who are like, it doesn't matter. I'm guessing maybe at Ryan's stage, there's probably, for the next person above him, there might be hundreds of waves anyway, so it's like, why should I bother to slow down the game to cheese out 20 more waves or whatever? It might not be worth it for him. But yeah, I feel like this is kind of the sad reality that at least all of us who are tryhards in Legends, we slow down the game and try to cheese in whatever way we can. Whether it's the wave skips, whether it's these other things. Oh, Chris, so you just started slowing your game down after watching my stream a few weeks ago. Did you feel like did you notice any progress? The hard thing, of course, is that you can never really truly fully confirm it. I mean, I think some people have mathed it, or people that knows how the game runs and they know that the spaghetti code and whatnot means that not everything is equivalent at the various game speeds, whether it's your attack speed or these other things. But yeah, I'm curious, Chris, whether you feel like you noticed any progress or kind of impact from it. Yeah, JP is like, I feel like it is necessary. Yeah, I feel like it's a necessary evil of sorts as well. Yeah, and but in Ryan's case, like the next guy above him is like 500 waves, and so then at that stage, I wouldn't worry about trying to do all these cheesing type of things. I think I just settled. And Ryan, have you taken like, because you have interest sprints, if I remember the mastery. So I'm curious how long your runs are. I bet my runs are longer than yours. Well, especially also because I'm slowing down, but I bet your runs are quite short. Chris says he does think it helped. Of course, he's also been making big jumps anyways. So yeah, that's the hard part of like saying 100%. But you survived a couple of sticky spots where I feel like I would have previously died. Yeah, I feel like, especially for this run and these battle conditions, I would have been shotgunned long time ago with 5x speed. I feel like I can quite confidently say that, because that I have tested a lot, both also in farming, that I know that I can juggle way better at 1x speed compared to 5x speed. And so that part I'm very confident about in terms of the overall impact of sorts. I think with I was hoping I was gonna get the energy shield recharge, but I guess this means I just gotta use the nuke then. I guess there's no other way. Because I don't have the smart nuke, so I have to activate that manually. Eventually in the vault you can get it so that nuke works the same way as, well, second wind and demon mode, that it activates automatically to save you on a death blow, a kill blow. But I don't currently have that. And I'm still skipping waves. I'm a dummy. Can't choose the amplify button. Chris made 213 champs in my first visit this week, which I was happy with. Back to platinum today, of course. Yeah, hey man, that's progress. Good on you. That's awesome. And I'm sure you'll stabilize in champ soon. I am curious though, Chris, what is the wave you need to get to stay in champ at the moment? Like, how many waves do you need? Chris says, wave 550. Let's go! Imagine that in JP's voice. Let's go! Let's go! I can't even do it. Let's go! I can't do it. I either sound like a pirate or a pervert, or I can't do it. Jarek, around wave 300 to stay. Okay, so not that far off then. Oh, or in Chris' case, it was 400. Of course, it can depend on the different tournaments. Wait, did I just do the opposite? I'm such a dummy when I'm doing live stream. I literally removed wave skip, didn't I? I deserve to die. It's one of those things when you're on a live stream of like, I feel like it's so much easier to make mistakes. Especially when reading chat and other things at the same time. Bye! Alright, we'll take it. We will take it. 7 deathifies. That obviously helped a bit. Massive new PB. 555, easy to remember. The boss killed me. I am surprised I was able to juggle the enemies without Galaxy Compressor. And the fact that the boss killed me, I think means that I don't think Galaxy Compressor is going to be better for me. Simply because I didn't die to chip damage. And so having more uptime on my Chrono Field or my Black Hole, I don't think is going to matter. But it's one of those things to test. I did take some chip damage, I think, that reduced some energy shield, so maybe. But yeah, super happy about that. Crusty Dusty, very relevant question. Why are you on 1x speed? So it's one of those ways that we do to try to squeeze out the last few waves of a tournament. Slowing down the game generally helps. It also, of course, makes it easier for me to read game chat or remember to do wave skips or these other things as well. But overall, it helps for everything. It gets more attack speeds off and easier to juggle and so forth. So if you don't, I suggest you try it at the end of your tournament runs. Jarek needs reroll pack bad and Galaxy Compressor from 80 lifetime coins. As ancestral, yeah. GG, yeah, I'm happy about that. Again, it means probably still that I'm gonna get 9th though, because there is one much stronger than me that hasn't started, which is a little bit shame. It would be fun to get into 7-8 for the first time, but I can't complain. So we'll take it. We will take it. And I think with that, I'll see just if there's any questions before I conclude. Otherwise, JP, if you're still here, let's go. When have you figured out a time that suits you best to go live? Or do you want to just talk about that via DM? I just figured I could advertise it now. If you do know when you prefer to go live. So let's see if JP is here to say, let's go. Yeah, but JP, when do you reckon you want to go live? I just figured I could share that with the world of people who are here already. so that they know when to tune in to you. One thing that I might do off stream later is also just have a go at the tier 17 milestone, just to try to get to wave 200. Should just be a little bit of RNG to get there now. Last minute, so exact 7 hours from now. All right. Duly noted. Then I need to make sure to get some sleep before that as well. So that is duly noted. I think with that, guys, super happy about the tournament, but tune in at the very last minute of the tournament, where JP and I'll be joining, and we'll do a co-stream on his channel. So if you are not already subscribed to JP, then be sure to do so, and hopefully I'll see a fair amount of you guys there. And we'll see JP getting to, he has promised to get to wave 800, I think. And so I think he said something about he's going to give stone packs to everybody if he doesn't. So we'll see how it goes for JP. No, I'm joking. But yeah, thanks everyone for tuning in. Really appreciate all of you. Appreciate you interacting, learning from you guys. And hope we'll see you around. So take care and best of luck in your own tournaments.